little bit of automotive difficulties tonight, Sean.
That time of year. We'll start the meeting. It is the clock is fast. What do you got? 7:07. 7:07.
Notice the Zoom link is different.
By the way, I like this light I have on me. I've never looked this good.
You'll have to take some selfies there for yourself.
What did she do? Combine the two?
Yeah.
Oh, but the Zoom links are different.
It's different every week, every month.
Yeah, it's this tonight. This is tonight. That's it. I go to 6.
So she didn't change it. Oh, maybe she did change it. To the 6th.
That's a 6.
It's an 8.
Maybe this is a whatever.
We changed it. Huh? You have the right agenda?
It looks like it, yeah.
A little different.
Spacing.
Okay, approval of the agenda. Those in favor?
Second.
I
Okay, approved. Okay, approval of the, actually, it's the September or October we have to do.
In October.
We canceled November. September is done. But yet September was, she said the September's minutes. You did the October. Oh no, Lester, you weren't
I
here.
did. I don't remember September. That's too. Oh no, I didn't. I don't know if I did. I'm sure I did something, but that was exactly when we had the crash. But I don't recall what happened in September. October, we definitely did. In November, I did that paragraph because the meeting.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think you're doing October for now.
Yeah, I have the print September one now. Oh no, this is October. I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah. The minutes were in your.
Yeah, those are the right ones. Yeah, October 14th. Okay, we're good. All right. Any changes, corrections, additions?
You're good.
No. Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, real quick, the water testing update. With Weston and Sampson, they were chosen and approved by the board. Kathy and I and Morgan met with Lee, who's going to be our contact person and project manager. We met, lost track of time. Last Wednesday? Yes, Wednesday. And he's going to provide us with the contract. There is a caveat to the whole thing. The state will not allow any prepaid invoices without service.
Any way around it?
We tried. I even asked if they don't know won't hurt them, but
Hold on 1 second.
they do too much with St. Weston Sampson does too much with the state. They didn't want to risk anything. But what he did say was they'll start. We're going to begin here shortly. We're going to send out notices and do some quick educational review for the town, for the village. And as the testing goes, if they happen to find anything, they'll just focus in on that point and wells around it. And if they do find anything, they'll budget in to do, monitoring wells. So maybe do,
Separate from the drinking water.
yeah. So do, we're thinking 3 wells that would monitor the village, and then they'd be in place, get them in underneath the funding, and that's a start, and then you just go for other funding later.
So effectively, we're losing 2/3 or 3/4 of them.
Probably, unless we can find a way to spend it by the end of August in the monitoring wells, if that comes into play.
Maybe I'm trying
I'm sorry, I had to grab a call real quick. So you're saying that because they won't prepay, that we wind up then having to forego a good chunk of the funding that was promised for this thing because we can't use it up front? Is that the nut of it?
Yeah, we can't use it toward, future testing that hasn't been done yet. But what, Lee, who from Weston and Sampson suggested was maybe we'll get into a situation where we're looking at monitoring wells, or other things that might be covered under the grant by the end of August. And then strategically use it to the best interest of the village.
Understood, but you're saying, but ultimately you can't plan to even have them come back next year at this point because you won't have the grant money by then.
Right. I mean, they can come back, but the grant money won't be there. It just got out to the state that because we posed the question, can we do this? Can we have it held in escrow? And they wanted nothing to do with that. So,
not even if Sampson agreed under contract
no,
to do it for 10 years and had an upfront invoice for the amount, they still wouldn't do it.
they would do it, but the state came back and said, if the service isn't performed yet, you can't invoice it. So they got you. They basically we use what we can of it, and then I'd say try to get the monitoring wells in strategic spots. They're gonna have the hydrologist look at the best testing spots first.
Would it be a real wise guy move to create a arrangement with the company with Weston that would actually, but then they would get all the money and you wouldn't have any control of it. You're saying say that they get an invoice for services that really were $67,000 or whatever, and then they would sit with that money for 10 years and use it up over the 10 years. I mean, figure out some sort of way to tell the state, hey, here's the invoice for God knows what that costs $67,000, and then have a side.
August invoices for services.
Yeah, the service is the $67,000, and they're doing it.
Yeah,
I think all
of these companies, I think all 6 would agree with what Weston and Sampson said. They do too much with the state to risk it, to risk their,
sure,
basically a saving face and say no.
Yeah.
They originally they were more than willing to do it. That's one of the reasons why we kind of went down that road with them, because they were kind of coming up with a plan for us, and then we found out what the grant really said, that the services have to be performed for the invoice.
Well, I would say we should be expending as much money as possible towards making future sampling and analysis cheaper.
Yeah. Well, it's a start. We're getting this thing rolling, and just use as much of the grant as we can. And when you start talking about the monitoring wells, I immediately said, "Geez, 3 wells. Put them in strategic spots to cover."
Yeah, I'd say not just necessarily strategic, according, strategic according to what they're finding, but, geographically dispersed so that we can see if something's coming.
Yeah, a wide range, yeah. Well, that's what they're gonna start doing. The hydrologists are gonna take a look at everything. We sent them the, engineering reports, so they got a visual from 30,000 feet, start zeroing in on it, I guess.
Yeah.
And then, what else did Morgan send them? What was that? There was one other thing. We wanted to see, the history of the school. Which Atlas had done the school. They were one of the bidding companies. But we're not sure if there's a monitoring well over there or how they're doing it, or if they're monitoring the school's well itself,
I
or
think,
is Charlie's well being monitored?
probably both. I don't remember any discussion of another well being sunk over there.
Would be useful in determining if any contamination has spread or, the level.
So either now you got to figure out where those wells go. Like Wilson Park, is that town property? Theoretically, the one there. Village is too far away, right? The village park.
Yeah, I wouldn't be too concerned with way up there.
We'll just have to decide, see what the hydrologist says,
Yeah.
Do you need one here, and you can get permission to put one here, or is it put in someone's well? So it exists.
That's simple, but maybe that might drive up the sampling costs later. So if you had dedicated sampling levels, it would make the job for someone coming through to do the sampling a lot more straightforward. They don't have to coordinate with people.
Yeah. The samples do need to be taken as close to the well as possible and off the pressure tank, not through the house. So it can't be taken like at a faucet for PFAS.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, we're looking for it in the groundwater, not necessarily what's going through somebody's system.
Yeah.
So I don't see any tie into being necessarily close. It probably would make the homeowner feel more comfortable for it to be close to their existing one. Because it's a better indication of what their water would be in their well.
Yep. That's all I have for this point. We're waiting for the contract, and they're gonna start.
I'm sorry, I missed the project manager's name.
Lee. Lee Rosberg, Rosberg. So that was our kickoff meeting. It was, it's Wednesday after Thanksgiving. Last week. Thursday, sorry, it was Thursday. I was finishing up on Zoom. That's right. So we should see something this week in the way of a contract, and Lee's gonna reach out with his team to. Like I said, it'd be nice if you did a meeting for the town, maybe after the holidays, and maybe before town meeting. Or do we do it at town meeting? With where they come in and do a little dissertation. They'll have their undivided attention at town meeting, right? For all 40 people that show up.
Is it a two-way kind of thing? They're presenting and taking questions?
Yeah. That was kind of what I mentioned. He said, yeah, that's what they'll be doing.
I'm sure the town meeting is a good forum for that.
Too much else going on.
It's a good one-on forum for them to come in and
Yeah,
give a speech.
we do a special meeting,
What it is.
or we do it at a planning commission, they won't come to a planning commission meeting.
Might be good if you have like a kind of a one-page summary of the intent, and you're having the Grafton News followed by them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we did mention the Grafton News. So,
I think that's an excellent idea.
Because if you have like a summary, then you'll get a fair amount of attention
Yeah.
in a meeting where the poll people are.
and then they're gonna get information to the homes that you need to go to with, here's the criteria, you know, being able to set appointments and so on. Moving it along. But the goal is to start getting some testing done and then keep moving through the summer with it.
Yeah, get whatever infrastructure we can in that's gonna make testing in the future less expensive.
Yeah,
Now we can look for other grants for, if it's just the testing of the infrastructure, maybe it's, you know, it's a lower amount that can just go through the budget process.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was thinking a test well. It's probably a $20,000 to $30,000 investment.
Yeah, one thing that would be good to get, from them, before August that we can go for is a schedule that they recommend for the 10-year period. With an estimate of costs, non-binding, so that, you know, we can use it for the
If we
budgetary.
wanted to use them in the future, yeah, good idea.
And that'd be something they could prepare and include in it.
Or do we stick with the quote they gave us, so this is,
Yeah. If they'll stand by it without
Yeah.
being
it
able.
was only gonna be 7,000 and some change a year
Yeah,
for the 10-year period. And that includes the full line too,
and there
so,
might be, you know, future, like options for grants or.
oh, sure, yeah. No, this
They
start,
have to do it every year.
yeah. Now this money, this ARPA money, did it come from some of the COVID money that was still hanging on? Or is that all,
I don't think it's
I
cool.
thought this was new,
you know,
not 100% sure, but I thought it was.
I remember during COVID, they were talking about more money coming in to do these things. Lester, any other questions on water testing?
You're muted, Lester.
I think it's just remarkable how hard of a row this is to hoe. You know, it's just
Yeah,
I'm stymied. I really tell you, you've put so much hard work into locking this up, and it just doesn't seem to fall into place smoothly.
well, I think we should be making more of a stink of it with the state, because they're the ones who, they pulled the 4 million away from us.
Yeah,
Then they pulled the million away for whatever else was left, and then they drop it down to this 2 something and wanted to take that away. And yet we're trying to move forward, but we couldn't. Hands were tied. I think it's very unfair what they've done to us.
I mean, so let me ask you a question. How do other cities, how do other towns do this water testing? I mean, what do these people say? What do your consultants say about how they've managed to do multi-year programs with other small villages and towns?
Mm, I'm sure it's through some grant money.
I think we're different,
Sorry, say it again.
different, yeah. I think we're different. I think in those other cases, they've had a bad actor corporate money bag that, has polluted the ground and then taken to court and fined, and the fine is paying for the monitoring and
Yeah,
remediation and everything else.
Do you think that's really what's happening with the towns of these? I mean, every single one of these places had, three or four more references of towns that, some of them were bigger, obviously, but some, to my recollection, were not were the same size thereabouts. But you think every single one of them has its own story of a bad actor sort of being I thought maybe the thing is that every year there's a grant one gets for $25,000 or $30,000 for water testing, but we haven't ever heard of that.
We asked them that, they told us we can't prepay, but can they break up the grant in the future years? So we asked
No.
that question.
This is it.
Oh.
You use that money by August 31st, that's it. If you don't use it, it just goes away.
Yeah, the sharp stick.
Hmm?
There's a poke in the eye. With
It is. It is very much. Considering they were gonna give us the 4 million or way back, and it was gonna cost 8 million to do the project, and then we couldn't do anyway because of the restrictions that they put on us. So it's like, well, here's some money, but you can't do anything with it,
I'm pretty sure
pretty
the
much.
expiration has to do with federal level regulations, not state.
So, yeah, we just need to move forward with other grants for next year. Now, do we start looking now? And do we have a committee that looks for those grants? Do we do it as a planning commission, or?
I think we should do
What's available for next year? After. Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't expect to see much coming from the federal level. And the state's gonna be really tight about it. I think in many cases, they're not enthusiastic about testing happening, because if testing shows something, then they have to do something about it. Not sure they wanted that. It's a little bit like the asbestos and PCB contamination in schools.
And you want to find it to protect the public, but at the same time, you don't want to find it. Well,
does have some Department of Environmental Conservation clean water grants.
Now, where are we talking about $7,000 a year? It's not unreasonable to think that we might be able to pry that out of state government
a municipal grant.
of some kind.
Not a lot of money. I'm sure other towns are going to be doing the same thing at some point. Probably we're being proactive about it, right?
Yeah, I don't, as I said, from Lester's comment, I don't believe other towns are doing it for quite the same reason. Or we're doing-
There's been a reason, like Lester said, there's other contaminants out there.
Right.
The landfills, there was a couple of landfills in the bios of two or three of these
Yeah,
companies.
Uh-huh.
Seven trees, real bad one. Seven trees, polluting and Legon.
Uh,
The Canadians don't like it.
all right, the wastewater with Wyndham Regional, I haven't heard much more other than we did get out an invoice finally. And I haven't heard anything more. I don't know if Morgan has anything more on that. But Mike, McConnell, yeah, is working on that. Again, that's gonna be starting with an informational, um, uh, brochure, or whatever you wanna call it, to start with.
There's a Vermont grants notification list that I just added myself to, so
Where's it going?
Vermont grants list notification, subscribe. See if anything pops up. It's worth keeping an eye on anyway.
It's possible that we could find something that wasn't a grant from government, but was from a private foundation.
GIA funds various things too, with, through the year. Might be something they consider as well. It's kind of in the range of my understanding of what they fund.
All right, and wastewater, I don't have a whole lot with that. Do you know anything more about? You guys talked about it, stuff we're being, so.
No, they didn't really have much in the last update. That's still on the agenda for select board, but
Trying to get some budget out of the way.
So originally we had, his estimate was, I think around 10,000. And it was kind of real tight with what, if we could have done the 10-year plan with one of these companies, Weston and Sampson, we chose, it was getting real close to that 200,000, like within pennies.
Yeah, really.
So it was one or the other had to, adjust a little bit. So as it is, I do know that this wastewater, what do you call it? Telephone?
Unless there's something.
Quite a ringtone.
Are you playing the piano, Lester? So 10,000 roughly toward the wastewater. What are we getting with that type of information? Plan, improve on our current ordinance
Yeah,
with, as an education, with education.
education,
Yeah.
good wording, legal compliance, I hope.
Maybe we come up with a manual that each homeowner can have. With every project, you need a manual, how it operates.
Oh,
Here's why we're doing it, all that, the steps, just to,
that, yeah, that would be good. Would be a good thing.
why do we have an ordinance, septic pumping ordinance?
But, and going back to some comments you've made before, educating people on how to use an in-ground septic system, or how, or appropriately, how not to use it.
Yeah, I mean, you can only imagine what is going down some of these toilets in this town, between the tavern and Airbnbs, even homeowners themselves. It's,
Yeah.
time bomb is ticking. So Act one
Wasn't there
eighty-one,
going to be some sort of a educational? I mean, what was what is the latest on? There was supposed to be some sort of a town education on just that issue
for the wastewater?
about what not to put down your toilet.
Yeah,
I just think of this, it looks like some funding for clean water specifically is coming through them. So,
yeah. Okay, thank you. So Clean Water Initiative,
yeah, Department of Environmental Conservation for Vermont. Sure, it's always changing, but they're the ones that have the grants notification listserv on this page. But it says the Clean Water Initiative Program funds, tracks, and reports on priority projects to restore Vermont's waters and communicates progress towards meeting water quality restoration targets. Coordinates funding, tracking, reporting of clean water efforts for federal and state partners.
so you think who we're working with this ARPA fund would say just what you did.
Yeah, take a look.
You know, here's where we can go with this for you, rather than just saying, no, you can't do that. I had the same thing with another situation with the state just last week, or in the conference that we do, getting credits for our program. And we sent in the roster, and the state said, no, we can't accept your roster. What do you mean you can't accept your roster? You gave it to us. It was just point blank, no, won't accept it. So now I have to make a phone call to the head of the Department of Agriculture, just say, what's going on up there? You know, it was just point blank, no help, no nothing, just, no, can't help you. Yeah,
Maybe it's one of those employees that starving from having been told to go back and work 3 days a week in Waterbury.
I think so.
Well, they're talking about community stewardship, which is what we're trying to do. So,
Yeah. Yeah, and the situation that we're dealing with last week, it's helping the state, we've been helping the state for 30 years, put on a program that gives credits to companies, golf courses. Because they didn't do it, they wouldn't do it anymore back in 1992, so we did it for 30 plus years. Now all of a sudden we're getting, no. No, so you wonder what's going on here? So, I guess you gotta really dig, you're trying to get help from the state. Village wastewater solutions. It's better.
so
You just making this stuff up?
what?
You just making this stuff up as you go? Oh, God. Is that state or federal?
States.
What is? What is
It's
this one
the
saying?
same page, but I just sent a page to all of you, and
Oh,
if
okay.
you go over on the left-hand menu, one of their selections is Village Wastewater Solutions Initiative. Finance and guidance, history, Village Wastewater Solutions videos, news, and contacts. So,
Cool.
That's please some people we ought to try talking to if we haven't.
Well, there's Lynette we've dealt with.
That's who you've talked to.
Yeah.
So probably someone we have.
So again, Lynette's aware of our situation. You think she'd reach out and say, hey, here's what you can do in the future?
Yeah, because it would seem like these are some of the grants and people we should be working with.
Wow.
But this is like some good information.
Yeah. So these are the things that, you know, Morgan needs to jump on. But I think you need to be directed to do it, otherwise she won't be doing it, right?
Right. I think we're, again, different in that we're not trying to fix an already emergent problem, but we want to do surveillance.
Mhm.
Drinking water, private well testing survey. So, it's something,
Yeah.
along with a pollution, prevention brochure, don't flush this. Maybe we should get that for sure for their Airbnbs.
Well, this is all stuff, that's what Wyndham Regional's gonna be doing, they're gonna be pulling all this stuff together for us and paying them to do it.
Yeah,
Do we have time to do it? Not really. But isn't that, they're there for to help us.
we would hope. But there are some resources that maybe we can use. If you know that, you would think you're right, they would be pointing you in that direction.
Mm. Well, the fact that we have to pay from this grant, Wyndham Regional, I mean, granted, that's kind of how they make their money, right?
Yeah,
They have to have,
This stuff seems like obvious, but why not turn a bunch of them off and put them in Airbnbs?
mm, you know,
We've already created
don't do this or you're gonna create an explosion.
it.
Danger, Will Rogers. No danger.
Will Robinson. Will
Thank
Robinson.
you.
Oh yeah, we'll Rogers was pretty.
All right, move on to Act 181 and how it's gonna impact us. I think, all I was thinking was that we just take a brief look at it all, and all I came up with what Morgan sent us, it's just a tier 3 rulemaking and report, and it's got a tier 3 map. And if anyone looks at the map, it just shows, see if I get back to it. So it shows a little hatched area over the village center. If you click on it, it said, that this area is
Excluded.
excluded. Correct. You got it. Thank you.
Took me a long time to get to this.
Yeah, so it said it's excluded area, right?
Yeah.
And then it just shows the headwaters.
Right.
And it's it.
This, I'm thinking, is probably what has got people really cramped.
See, I didn't see that when I pulled it up on the screen.
I did look at that map, and Grafton has some areas like, in the northwest corner. But I think, if you look over at Chester, covered, there are some areas that have a lot more of those yellow restrictions.
So where's this?
Oh, no.
I told you. Coming down,
Woodland Four Corners.
Houghtonville, Stagecoach Road and, Orange.
really? Why do you think that is?
That's a good question. Like so many things, like river corridors. Somebody thought, oh, that looks like a good place to put it.
Because they're looking at all of this headwater up here.
No, those are, habitat corridors. They're, getting in trouble there. The headwaters, not so much, but the habitat corridors are very, they decrease the value of anybody's that's living there, their homestead by a very significant amount.
So is this just, this is beyond the village center, isn't it? What they're showing here.
Yeah, it's basically the village. I don't know what they use for their map delineation, but that's the village.
Have you seen this yet, Lester?
No. No, I mean,
Well, I can find it and see it up here. It's probably not very big.
Did you get the link that Morgan sent?
if I did, I don't remember it. But if you tell me where to look for, I mean, if I got it from Morgan, I'll take a look right now. I don't recall
Yeah,
it.
she sent an email. It's right next to the email with the agenda. Right after it.
It's the second agenda for the planning commission email.
I got the agenda. Oh, this is. I got the agenda from yesterday, I think, and then this is one from the 4th. All right, let me see. I didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take a look. But anyway, I'll take a look. You want me to take a look now? I'll look whether.
No, just wanted to make sure you had it so that you
Hold
can gander at it.
Hold on.
So this is all tier 3. And is that meeting next week all about?
So
Yeah.
wait, I don't see it. I mean, I'm looking at the one that had a bunch of attachments, but
Yes, it's within that. She's got a couple of links in that email, Lester. One takes it to the map, one takes it to the rulemaking report.
Send the body of the
I'll-
email.
I'll go through it later. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Let's see it yet.
And then when are you back, Lester?
I'm honestly, I don't think I'm going to be in person for quite some time. I'm coming back to the East Coast in a week and a half, and then I won't be up for the January meeting, and then I'll be away. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I'm going to be zooming for the next bunch of meetings for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm out in California now. I've been out here for 4 weeks and coming back on the 21st. So that's been trying to do stuff from here, which has been interesting. It's it's 4 o'clock. It's 4. 10 of 5 here now.
Where are you? What?
I'm in Santa Cruz. Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
oh,
it's in the North Bay. It's in Monterey Bay, the north end of Monterey Bay, and I've been out walking, doing trail hiking, and trying to work my broken leg, which has been great on these trails. But I think I wrote you, Matt. No matter what you think of California's politics, they really know how to do state parks. I have never in my life seen such gorgeous, just how they're taken care of. And let's not kid ourselves. These redwoods are magnificent. The forests are unbelievable. And I forgot that I'm right on the coast. I was on the beach on Sunday for the first time because we've been really walking in the redwoods, and the beach was remarkable. I mean, and you can't beat the weather. But enough of that. Peggy, who's cooking in the other room, said she prefers Vermont. So
have you been up north to the Avenue of the Giants, the big redwoods?
you're not this trip. I mean, this trip we're really here to help my daughter and her with her little newborn. So, but yeah, I mean, I haven't been there in long time, Buzz. But that was extraordinary. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, these are still. I mean, these are quite such a different sort of such a different forest than we're used to. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm. Santa Cruz really is.
It is. It's great. I mean, a lot of old hippies here.
Yeah. Been down by the cannery, the restaurants down there.
Say that again.
You been down by the cannery, by the restaurants?
No, I actually that's on my list to get down there, but no. So this area. Do me a favor when you get a second. Send me some things. It's really, I'm telling you, I haven't been out much. We've been we've been really doing whatever. I've been between working and between PT, which I'm doing out here, and getting outside and taking care of the baby. We just haven't gone out much.
Yeah, it's been a minute since I was there, but the aquarium there is really nice too.
The what?
And they got a beautiful aquarium right there on the waterfront.
Well, isn't that? Oh no, I think that's down in Monterey, isn't it? I mean, is that far away? I mean, that's not
Too
here.
far. Santa Cruz, Monterey, kind of that area.
So I mean, I haven't been to Monterey in this trip. I went to Monterey and Big Sur and Carmel, some years ago, but I didn't go to the aquarium. I look forward to getting to the aquarium. It's supposed to be remarkable. My little PT person who I had earlier today had her 24th birthday, and that was her outing. She went with her friends to the aquarium, and she said it was fantastic. And
Nice. Yeah, I'm probably coming out to San Ramon in January.
oh, no kidding!
Company
I'm sorry, you're going
company
out there?
planning meeting.
There's-
Yeah, company planning meeting for the year. That's where our headquarters is.
Oh, really? My buddy who worked, I think I told you, he lives up there, and I was just communicating with him earlier. He's worked at Lawrence Livermore. He just retired, but he was at Lawrence Livermore his whole career.
Yeah, my daughter did an internship out there 2 summers ago at the lab.
Oh, really? Yeah. See if she knows Henry Shaw. He was. He
I'll
was
ask her.
yeah, absolutely. Henry Shaw, nice old buddy.
She liked it because it's right there in the middle of all the vineyards and the cows are wandering around.
Yeah.
Right outside the lab.
I've never seen it, but I look forward to getting up there. I'm going to visit him at some point. Again, we didn't get a chance to do any visiting this trip.
Yeah.
It's lovely. It really is lovely. And you can't beat all of the time the 62, the range of weather between 50 at night or 48 at night to 65 in the day, basically.
Yeah, I lived in the Bay Area for about 4 years and then in Sacramento for about 11 years.
Oh, great.
Nice area.
Yep.
Yeah, we digress. But yeah, I hope you're feeling better and it's great you're getting out and walking a lot.
Yeah, we're definitely walking a lot. And I see these old coots on their e-bikes, and I just think I got to get back out there too.
So kind of a backstory in this is that for several years now, they've been trying to reform Act 250 in some fashion. And there are two competing factions. A&R basically wants to conserve everything, and the other side of the coin is the folks that are in charge of commercial development in the state and saying Act 250 is a real stumbling block, and so they've been going at it in a battle for several years. And this last year, this Act 181 and others have sort of been a spin-off of or compromise towards the two factions. I don't particularly like either side of the argument up there, but the reason that this is hatched and is not subject to these restrictions like habitat corridors or river corridors and practically anything that Act 250 used to cram down your throat, is that they decided that the people that want to conserve everything can have restrictions on the sort of the rural part of the towns, and the people that want to develop would have the priorities on the more urbanized part of towns.
Or existing municipal area.
Um,
So all of Williston and Burlington will be hatched, which they were good. They were exempt from Act 50 anyway, I think.
in a lot of cases, but this is the direction why I think why we're having these discussions right now is because the people that want to conserve everything are putting in these boundaries, which I don't believe have had very much scrutiny at a local level. Nor have they been ground truth, I think, in a lot of cases. The forest plots, this does connect forest plots, sort of. But then if you come down Townsend Road, coming across here is equally important to get habitat corridors that way. But there's nothing there.
What's this area? Is that like Ledge Road? Where was that? Or is that all the way down into Cambridgeport?
That actually is Cambridgeport because oh,
Forgive me. I just want to say I really looked through what I just don't see it. So I don't know where it disappeared to. But if someone could resend me the link, I'll look at it later. But in the meantime, I'm trying to follow this along. Thanks.
I don't know when they've got it there, but I can tell you where this is. If you're traveling up 121 and they reconstructed all of this bank along here. This is all riprap right now. Right here, this is Leach Road. Right,
Oh, that's all the way down there?
It's all the way down there. So this is there's a huge rock in the stream right there. Hasn't moved through any of the floods. I've been watching it. If you go down here, across the bridge, and then there's a nice little farmhouse over here.
Yeah, that's oh geez, McBride.
I think so. I think that road actually is
McBride, yeah.
McBride.
So he's in that.
Yeah.
I know the guy that owns that. He married a McBride. Brian Rowell, engineer at Sonics. So they just looks like a perfect circle around that one area.
Yeah.
And was their goal to, come up with a certain percentage of this area for the state?
I think they're trying to connect this, which is basically Funny Mountain down here. Cross over into this part of, which is state forest,
Is that Duran?
terrain, and
Like the Williams River up there, yeah.
this is Atchison Pond. That's up through here.
Mhm. There's much more we can do other than listen and next week, it's Tuesday next week,
Yeah.
16th. Here or at the school? Here?
I'm not sure. It's probably here.
I think we're gonna have a room full.
I'm torn because I really want to attend. The folks from WRC are gonna be here. I don't think they're zooming. And the guy from VLCT is gonna be zooming in. I wanna give a lecture on this whole affair. A couple weeks ago. I caught the tail end of it. And Morgan sent out the link to the recording for the session.
All right, yeah.
I'm gonna go in there and get the whole session that he provided. But that night is also Fast and Fire, holiday dinner on the tree. So we go that too. Bummer.
Well, I'll make it.
So this is the question.
And there's a lot of folks in town that are, again, they're probably from up here, I think,
Where does Anna live?
and
Egan?
she lives right here in the village.
Oh.
She lives in the house above the meeting house.
Maybe she has good friends in Oakville. As if I were in Oakville, I'd be upset.
So this covers. So everyone in Oakville,
Yeah, just about.
sewage, oils change. So that's old house, right?
That's Cowell Road right there.
Yeah,
That's the road to Wyndham, Stagecoach.
so restricts any development at all in Oakville.
It severely impacts it, let's put it that way.
That's where we wanted to put the Walmart. Damn.
I don't think it's gonna happen here.
What was the other? So the only significant natural community is right all the way down here.
And I don't think that's accurate.
So this must be behind, this came airport.
Yeah.
So this area that goes, that's an area that floods, isn't it?
Right. That's a designated floodplain. There is another significant vegetative community. There.
Doesn't show.
It should be right in there somewhere, just about off the map into Athens. Those,
Like,
bulrushes. Bulrushes.
oh yeah, up there, is this Turner Hill? Is that what that dark spot might be?
That's a swamp.
That's this one.
But I don't think the bulrushes are in that small. They have to come back this way.
Hmm.
Or maybe just a little bit over the border in Athens.
I planted some bulrush in my yard. They're gonna count that?
Not unless it's this special stuff.
Stuff was Brady. Nice ground cover. Where you find it naturally is where water had flooded over the years. It'll leave a band up out of a riverbed.
So,
So you might see it up high near a river, but it was probably placed there hundreds of years ago.
but does it have to keep its feet wet?
Not necessarily, because stuff I have is growing where it's dry. I stuck it on a pile of loam. It was a clump. It's the size of this, all 3 tables here put together.
This is the meat of the whole thing, is the tier 3 rules.
Yeah. Yep. I glanced at them on,
You basically have to take Morgan's link for the map. Once you get on the state's website, then the rules are on the link down lower.
They'll sort of kind of a GIS map that you play went around with the layers. And it's Company Act 250, it's an interim exemption. It is showing it around the raft.
Yep.
But then it's also showing all the floodplain stuff as well. It's a little different display than
Did you- got one of these? This is all that I have from her, that rulemaking report. Is that where you got this from, the rulemaking report, or is it another?
I think it's on the same webpage.
Um,
What's it about there? Oh. Rules?
They've come a long way since they started this in May.
Uh. Well.
Or did you?
It was on that web page somewhere. I don't know
Okay.
whether it was buried.
Hmm.
Is this giving me? Doesn't give me. Web page. Um. This is over 8 draft rules.
How long did it take you to find that?
Well, it wasn't immediately obvious,
Hmm.
but it was in a whole list of, a half dozen different links.
Yeah, that's a good summary there you found.
And this is what they're gonna be arguing over in the next successive,
So it was,
meetings.
this committee's been working hard on this thing, it looks like.
And I think they have,
It started in April and May this year. But it's not gonna be etched in stone right away. They were shooting for February, now they're gonna move it to later in the year.
the question is it too late to, impact this?
And they haven't been transparent up until just recently.
Well, people haven't paid attention, I'd say that.
I shouldn't say transparent, but informative. They haven't been informative until recently. Appeals report, what's that? And when Act 181 charged the board to report on the land use appeals process using a diverse group of stakeholders. Study recommendations must include a recommendation whether to transfer appeals of Act 250 permit decisions and judicial opinions to the Land Use Review Board. Or whether they should remain at the Environmental Division of Superior Court. Wow. Is that an appeal if you've been denied, maybe?
Then that has been another fight as far as, in the past, there was a local board essentially run by A&R that reviewed Act 250, and now they're trying to move it out of that jurisdiction into another. I'm just, I don't like Act 250.
So how did they select their stakeholders?
Sure.
They've got a couple of names here, Liam Murphy and David Mears Appeals Process Model. Vermont Natural Resources Council Appeals Proposal. Boy, this is just, it gets deep.
Yeah.
Holy crap. So when it comes to impacting us, say they get this in stone, we have to include that in our maps, in town plan.
It was, probably.
So these properties up here are gonna be lower in value significantly, or
I think
it's
so.
not gonna matter.
Uh,
What's there is still gonna be of value, you can't change anything, right? What, can someone put an addition on their home up there?
I don't know how, I haven't dug that far into the rules yet. And if it's, the answer is no, do they have an appeal and, how does all that process work? It is, it's another swipe, property rates,
Yeah,
so river corridors.
so this goes all the way down to, Al and, Danforth's, right?
Yeah,
See, there's more in Chester, huh? This continues up into
oh,
Chester.
yeah. You know, there's a lot of Chester impacted. Might be able to get, that fellow Charlton. Who's a rep for our area
Yeah,
over there interested in it.
I think he's already aware of it. He talked a little bit about it when he met with us, 2 weeks ago. So we had maybe half a dozen, maybe about a dozen people. And someone asked about this, and he was quite knowledgeable so far as to what he knew, but he said there's a whole lot more that you just gotta dig into it, like what we're doing.
Yeah,
And then where's A&R on all this?
I think
They're just sitting up on their throne up there.
they're happy as hell.
Yeah.
Did they manage the National Natural Resources Board, the NR?
Correct, they may not like that because
But
That
they're gonna
report.
replace that with something called the LURB.
What?
The Natural Resources Board is renamed the Land Use Review Board, the LURB.
Yeah,
The board's expanded to 5 full-time members with staggered terms appointed by the government. After applicants are reviewed by the nominating committee and the Senate's advice and consent. And then there's gonna be regional committees that permitting processes flow through.
So in that sense, A&R has had some authority taken away from
Yeah. Depending on who gets appointed,
them. Yeah.
yeah. But the governor is gonna do the appointments and go through the Senate. And assuming he's at least somewhat pro business, and development. So AMC might not like that. Well, also gives them funds to hire an executive director. it shifts the responsibility to provide notice from applicants to the district commissions, adding a new public posting requirement for town and city clerks and municipal offices. And for the blurb on its website. So it's gonna change the process for doing it. Establishes $2.95 as the new filing fee. And then it talks about the forest block criteria. And there's a legislative summary, it's 27 pages, but it does kind of.
Hold up,
What's it?
is there a link to that?
Oh, yeah,
Can you send that? Please.
yeah, it's a PDF.
We've always had a problem with how the forest lots have been designated.
I'm gonna send you basically the legislative summaries and the list of things.
Mm-hmm.
They give you a bunch of links, but. It's hard to follow.
So have they ever appointed this?
It's not clear.
Review board?
It's saying that, I don't think so, because it looks like in 2026, this will start taking. effect.
Well, they talked about February 1st to implement this thing, that they moved it to,
Tier 3 rulemaking and report in February. Tier 2 later in February. And then forest block and habitat connector rulemaking in June of 2026.
I thought I heard something about the February, they're moving it
Could be out of the.
further down.
Yeah, they have the.
Or I hope we can have some impact on the forest blocks and the habitat connector. Because if you pull up this map, you can activate the forest block. There's a whole list of layers on the original map, not this one, but this is extracted from it. There's what you'll find when you open that map up, there's a whole list of layers. And if you go down and open up the forest block layer, you'll find that they have let's see. Yeah, that's what's very fine. The one block is here and one block is here. And they're different. And my way of thinking, there's not much difference between them as far as habitats. But one
Yes,
is
I remember that, that was,
that was a big discussion.
yeah, back when we did it, yeah.
Yeah.
It was almost like someone just took a paintbrush and went up and
Yeah.
down both sides of the road. Mm-hmm. But yet, this area wasn't on that
No,
map at all. But now it is.
Yep.
And it doesn't make any sense either.
well, it does to an extent as far as connected here and here.
Sure. But if you drive, even with the homes that are there, there's lots of traffic getting on. Critters.
And it's here and here that I think innocently we should try to get a narrow corridor through. Are we down here? Okay,
That's Townsend line.
yeah, yeah. Right in here, I think is an opportunity for that.
They'll find their way, even
Yeah,
in my own yard. They're not crossing near my house anymore because the dog barks. So they're going up and coming up the bank at the end of my driveway. Straight up this bank and over here to the field.
yeah, they don't like dogs. but a corridor can be a whole lot narrower than what you might think.
Yeah, like crossing my field,
It could be as narrow as just
Yeah.
an old farm lane with a buffer of 10 or 15 feet of trees on either side going down through, and that's enough cover. A
yeah,
lot of critters.
yeah. No, but bear, but white ox, saw wolf. Here, across, right at my driveway to where my camper is, and they go,
You're over here.
yeah, I'm sorry.
You were asking about an add-on. Until July 2028 exempts construction or improvements of accessory dwelling units, ADU. Adds definition of an ADU similar to the definition in Title 24. So there's an exemption on at least some of that until mid-27. You're gonna go quick.
It just gets so complicated, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And it just keeps getting more complicated. Throw more regulations at it. Were you able to follow our conversation at all, Lester?
You're muted.
Again.
You're muted.
I'm find the sidebars more interesting because I can't follow without the map. But in the meantime, everything else I got. And you're right. It's just amazing how hard it is.
Mm.
And I learned what an ADU is. I didn't know that the first word was accessory. I was trying to figure out what is an ADU. Because that's what they do around here. There are all these homes, and they have and that's where we're staying in is a little ADU, and it's lovely. But I couldn't figure out what the A meant.
Yeah.
I think most
All
of
right.
most
Yeah,
of them
but-
are illegal because you can't do anything here either.
This legislative summary is 27 pages, but it's one of the better summaries I've seen, kind of condense some things down. From pages and pages and pages of the website. So I did send that link through to Gil.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. Let me take a
All
look.
right. Want to beat that up anymore? It's kind of spinning, my head is spinning just thinking about it. On the agenda, but thanks for asking Morgan for that link too. I was trying to remember if I had it, but
I asked for it.
she hadn't sent it before you asked for it, right? Yeah.
I'm sorry. So
Oh.
I got what you just sent, Buzz. But is the map that you guys were referring to, is that accessible through this or not?
Maybe, I'm not sure. I think Morgan sent a separate link.
All right. I'll follow up with her then.
You sent
Here,
two different links
I
on
think
that.
Matt's gonna forward.
I'll send this to you, Lester.
All right. Thanks.
It may be on that page, but I'm not sure how to navigate it.
All right. I'll take a look again. Sorry.
If I can find it. So.
No. Sorry. Don't worry. I'll follow up. It's okay.
Oh, here you go. I'll go over this to Lester. There you go.
Thank you. Very excited.
So if you go into the body of the email, it's Act 181, Tier 3, the resource area provision, and then rulemaking and report. The provision has the map, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you bring the map up on your screen, you'll be able to click on it and Just curious, look, the state as a whole, boy, they've covered quite that.
I found it. Thank you. I see it now.
Yeah. So there's a lot of course, you're in around Lake Champlain, you get a lot of, you know, natural communities. But here's all the, way deep down into our area, it's just covered.
Well, outside of the Northeast Kingdom, I think we're the most forested county in the state. Ooh,
Wow. Look at Townsend.
ouch. They can't be happy about that if they know what's going on.
Look at this.
Good grief.
It's like half the communities, half the residential area in the town.
Yeah.
So it's, we're not as bad. Look at it that way. But yeah, let's continue up through Chester here.
Yeah.
What's that along William? I mean, William, right?
That's probably awful dungeon.
Yeah. Yeah, here's the Williams up here. Yep, there's Purple Dungeon. Actually, we're being spared pretty well with the rest of the area around us, huh?
Yeah. By comparison.
Yeah, if I zoom in on this is, yeah, we get a lot of crossing over right here.
Hmm.
And they go up, either Joe's Road or this road here that, well, I don't know, it's not a road, but there's a road that goes up. Kind of connects over to where Ivers place is.
The Redlands parcel.
Is that the bridge?
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's a lot of crossing here. You come through this way. Then go up to, what, Spring Hill?
Yeah, eventually.
They find their way. I have a friend in Red Bank, New Jersey, he's got here in his backyard every night, including a couple of big bucks. One of them was laying down next to his picnic table in the backyard. So they find their way. With year to go.
Probably down there, they can't be hunted.
These are great maps. I'm sorry I missed this whole thing because these are really fascinating.
Did you open it?
Yeah, I opened it, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I missed the whole. I mean, I didn't have it open for 3/4 of the conversation.
Yeah, so you can see the northwest corner of the town. There's a Old Stage Road, Houghtonville. You can see
Yeah.
where all that yellow and green
Yep.
hash is. That's what we were talking about. But go south and look at Townsend, expand on Townsend. And look at all that they have going on.
Wow. Yep.
Looks like almost the entire town. And they're restricted, I mean, they're exempted areas where the school is.
In the hospital.
The hospital, but you just go right up the road. Well, this is, I guess it's further up the road than we think. Isn't this the Grafton Road? No, that's not Grafton Road, that's Simonsville, Simpsonville. Simpsonville,
Yeah, that's the next one.
right? Road. All right, any other questions? Lester, you good?
Yep.
More to follow.
More to follow. This is good stuff. I got to understand it, but it's good stuff.
So if you can make it back for Tuesday, we're having a meeting with WRC on it here in town.
Oh, yeah. Also Zoom.
Yes,
Yep, it'll be Zoom.
All right, when is that? Was that also on any calendar? But that I can do that.
Morgan had sent the invite out for that, I believe. She'll need the Zoom link.
All right, I'll follow up.
Yeah,
Tuesday.
just
Tuesday.
follow
What
up with
time?
Morgan. You have Morgan send you the,
I think it's 6 o'clock. I could be wrong on that though.
Okay, but Tuesday
Pretty sure it's
WRC. Okay.
yep, it is at 6. All right, on the municipal, we'll close that out. Municipal planning grant, Morgan helped us on that. She got it out just in the nick of time. She had to send me a form for me to sign the next day, but they accepted it. I signed it as the planning commission chair. And it's in their hands to,
Good.
well, at least we get the application in.
Yep.
Maybe we'll get a couple bucks out of it, or not. But it was a learning experience for Morgan, knowing now how to get on. You had to go in and get on their site, and you had to open up an account or a login or whatever. She's got all that done, so the next ones will be easier. I think she does a couple more. It'll be easier.
Yeah.
And easier. So the municipal planning grant is out. I don't know, when do they award those? Forgot. Is it,
I forgot the date.
is it like May?
As I said, I forgot the time.
So if this one fails, we could do one for the following year, which is when we'll definitely, that'll be 28, no, that'll be 27. Year 27.
It's the year after you, basically.
So this one will be for, no, this is for this year. Yeah,
Yeah.
26.
Starting in July.
Okay, but if we did another one next year, it would be for the year 27, which will really need to be rolling on the
Yeah.
town plan. Okay, any old business? New business? Public comment?
You muted.
You all set, Lester?
Yeah.
Next meeting's January 13th. You'll be able to Zoom with us again on the 13th?
I'm pretty sure yes, indeed.
Okay. All right, anything else we want to work on in January? Continue with this, maybe after we see what they present to us, add that back then. Maybe we'll know a little bit more about, the water testing, what's going on. Want me to just keep following up with these on our agenda?
I think that's enough for us to do, yeah.
Just keep,
I agree.
and then at some point, get back to town plan info. All right, we have a motion to adjourn?
Second.
Okay,
Thank you.
so,
Okay, and all my best
Thank you,
to everyone. Take care for the holidays. Happy Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. See you soon. All right, stay well.
yes, Merry Christmas.
Be well, guys.
You
All
too.
right. All right, take care.